Greg on this special edition of Gutfeld. I'm hosting tonight while Greg cheats on us with another late night show. All right, first, let's do some jokes. Parts of China are fighting an outbreak of a disease that's spread by mosquitoes. As a result, an excited Anthony Fauci is hoping this will give him the chance to kill again. Ghislaine Maxwell reportedly told the DOJ that she never saw Trump do anything concerning. This reminds me of when I needed a reference and I got that glowing letter from Tanya Harding. Our very own Jesse Waters said that actor Shia LaBeouf verbally attacked him at an airport lounge 5 years ago. You gotta hand it to Shia. Most people don't have the patience to wait in a line that long. This weekend, the Marlins and Braves will play the first Major League Baseball game umpired by a woman. Instead of calling balls and strikes, she'll just say, "It's fine." Sean Diddy Combs reportedly wants to launch a comeback at Madison Square Garden after he's free. So, if you're a Diddy fan hoping for more shows, you're in luck. It's terrible. A young woman in China can't stop having orgasms, and doctors can't figure out why. Although some experts theorize it might have to do with this man's recent trip to China. According to a new poll, Elon Musk is the public figure that Americans dislike the most. To be fair, lots of people end up hating their dads. And finally, another sex toy was thrown on the court at a recent WNBA game. "I wish that happened at my job," said one man. Okay. All right, joke time over. Now to the monologue. According to a report by the New York Times, people backing Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo are pining for Donald Trump to get involved in the New York City mayoral race because they think he can unite people around one candidate and stop Zoran Mamdani from winning. Word is Adams has offered him a free ticket on Turkish Air, and Cuomo offered to kill the senior of his choice. The Times also reports that Trump is considering getting involved and even spoke to Cuomo on the phone about it. Trump, after all, like a lot of people, does believe that Mamdani would be terrible for New York City. Even communist bookstores are worried about the tax hikes. Worse, Mamdani has a real shot at winning. After all, he has been tapping into a real frustration that people feel, that life in New York is far too expensive for the average person. It's true. Some of us have even resorted to wrestling women for gas money. Of course, there's others who are well off enough that they can take multiple days off for one colonoscopy just so they can really cherish the experience. Apparently, it took so long because Greg kept shouting, "Hey, put that back in." Now, it's easy to understand the frustration of people who are Mamdani's age. The American dream is a lot more expensive now than it was in, say, 1980. And yeah, that's even after adjusting for inflation and wage increases. But here's the thing. Just because this guy sees people's frustration does not mean that he has the answers. Consider his lack of qualifications. He was an organizer for 2 left-wing advocacy groups for a few months. Then he worked on a film directed by his mom, and then decided to pursue a career as a rapper. He was also a campaign manager for progressive candidates before running for New York State Assembly in 2020. This guy's resume is weaker than over-the-counter cold meds. And for some reason, socialism has somehow maintained a much better brand than it deserves, despite the fact that it's been tried to various degrees in lots of countries and it never works out. As Greg pointed out recently, when the Berlin Wall fell, not only did it take socialism and communism with it, humanity only fled one way. But these days, some people see socialism as caring about people, and opposition to socialism as not caring if people have basic things like food and shelter. And people believe Mamdani when he says stuff like this.
Corporations don't want to pay just a little bit more in taxes to make a better city for all of us.
Freezing your rent as the next mayor of New York City.
Fast and free buses, universal childcare, funded by taxes on the rich. I will create a network of city-owned grocery stores. It's like a public option for produce. These stores will operate without a profit motive.
And before you ask, I'll pay for it by taxing the rich.
Oh, so government-run grocery stores will ensure that the prices of groceries stays low? Just ask the Soviet Union how that worked out. The point is, why would anyone trust this guy on anything just because he says so? The last time I just took a man's word for it, I wound up pregnant. Thanks, Larry Kudlow. What? He told me and my husband you can't get pregnant on Saturday.
Damn you, Kudlow.
Dr. Drew didn't pick up. So yeah, it's not that those who oppose Mamdani or socialism don't want people to be happy and healthy and prosperous. No. For us, it's just that we understand that socialism removes incentives to compete, to innovate, to strive for achievement. Socialism is like a sport that always, at best, ends in a tie. Capitalism, on the other hand, thrives on incentives and creates opportunity. It creates wins that can benefit everyone. Bottom line, Mamdani would be a disaster for New York City. We all know it, and Trump does too. So who knows? Maybe he will step in and help one of the other options win. Plus, unlike Mamdani, at least Eric Adams has done something of value. Like that time he taught us parents how to search our kids' rooms for drugs.
You can look in a jewelry box of this nature, maybe a simple jewelry box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun. You should always, when your child brings in his popular knapsack with many different locations, look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe. Look at picture frames and behind them, cameras. Try to determine what's taking place. Behind a picture frame, you can find bullets. Something simple as a baby doll. Could be just a baby doll, but also it could be a place where you can secrete or hide drugs. Run your hands over the pillows and see if you feel anything that's unusual. Like a pillow like this with a button is a perfect invitation to hide something. And I've felt something bumpy. I will reach in, see what it is. This one could be hidden inside a pillow. Just look and see what's inside your bookcases. It could be more than just books. Perfect place to hide cocaine.
That never gets old. Also, I'm glad my dad never saw that video. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He tours the nation looking like he forgot his medication. Comedian Joe Mackey. He kind of looks like a Labubu. Google it if you don't know what that is. Comedian and founder of Western Razor, David Angelo. If she takes off her glasses, it means she's gonna kick some asses. Host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy. And he's like a shawl, because old ladies want to wrap him around their bodies. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, former NWA world champion, Kyron. Oh, man. I did recently do that monologue so I could reshare that video of Eric Adams teaching you to search your kid's room for drugs. Kennedy, I sadly think Mamdani's going to be the mayor. I hope I'm wrong. I sadly think he is, because somehow socialism has gotten this reputation as just being nice to people.
Yes, because people who are voting who think socialism is nice have never read a history book. They need to sit down with someone who fled either the former Soviet states or Venezuela or Cuba or, places where tens of millions of people have been murdered as a result of socialism, which is just wrought with horrible unintended consequences. And that's what this guy's entire tenure will be here in New York City, is just a series of bad conclusions to this flawed premise. And he's a fancy lad. You know, it's like our Nepo baby children, they grow up in the lap of luxury.
Yeah.
And I don't want them running anything because they've always been way too comfortable and way too happy spending someone else's money. But if you look at someone like J.D. Vance, and you read Hillbilly Elegy, you realize that that guy came from a very hard life, was not a life of privilege, and he has grown into a fiscally conservative politician who understands that a limited government is a safer one, not an oppressive one, which would happen with this guy's smothering stinky blanket.
I know. I hope my baby doesn't grow up to be a mom. I worry about that. I was rocking him to sleep the other night, and it hit me. I was like, oh, my God, I have a Nepo baby. Terrible. Mackie, what are your thoughts on this?
Kat, I always say that communism is a lot like my love life. There's a lot of women waiting in a very long line, and they're very thin because I prefer that. And there's just not enough to go around. But you know that government supermarket's going to be terrible compared to the other supermarkets. I'm like, where are your Carvel ice cream birthday cakes for one? And they're like, we don't carry those, you capitalist dog. And to me, it just seems to me that capitalism is better because even the complaints communists have seem like compliments. You know, they're like, rich people have their own spaceships. I'm like, that's amazing. That's amazing that maybe, just maybe, I could have a spaceship someday. And then communist complaints are just really bad complaints. They're like, there's no food, everyone's hungry, and then you get thrown in the gulag because you complain that everyone's hungry. That's a dark ending. I should have done that in reverse.
Tyrus? You live in Florida, so I mean...
Yeah, damn right. Listen, I'm conflicted on this, and one, because I have no dog in this race, and worst case scenario is he gets in and all the rich people move to Florida, which means you'll have to fly to work. And I just want to say that it's beautiful. The temperature right now is about 80 with a nice little ocean breeze. It's Palm Beach is phenomenal this time of year. I'm just saying it'd be a nice place for a studio. Just putting it out there. You have to understand that this is why when I say I'm conflicted is because I think the people have the right to make a choice, and you have a choice. And if the people of New York choose this guy, then what are the needs of the city of New York? Because he only is getting support from the people he's threatening to tax. You know, like Mayor Adams, whether you like him or not, he put public safety first over party. That's why we have crime down in New York City. That's why we're seeing all these good things that are happening in New York City in terms of compared to where it was to how it is. There's still a lot of work to do. So is it based off the success of what Mayor Adams has done with rebolstering the police in this city that now they're like, oh, we're going to go back to having somebody who's anti-Trump run New York? And we saw how horrible that played out. So the people have the right to make a choice. I just don't understand under any fathom how you could vote for a guy with literally no credentials. And again, if you're about virtue signaling, he tried to pretend that he was African-American to steal a brother's spot. So if you're worried about racism and all this other stuff, here's a perfect guy to vote against.
David, interesting choice of outfit.
Oh, thank you.
Is that a Secret Service pin?
I was gonna say, is that an IUD?
Oh, this whole thing? No. This is just one of our chrome Made in America razors over at Western Razor. Works as a nice accessory too, you know.
How are sales?
They could be higher. I have to remind people, by the way, it's a real company. I don't know why people are like, is it a joke? It's like, what kind of a joke is this? That I have a fake, it's real. Go westernrazor.com.
He has a razor blade lapel, people. That's
Yeah,
pretty real.
it's an actual razor blade. They let you into the building with that?
They're all
There's
clients.
no security here. But yes.
Are you worried about how Mamdani might affect the sales at westernrazor.com?
Well, he might tax me. I'll have to relocate. You know, if sales get too good. That's what I never understood about it. Why I don't understand why New Yorkers find socialism appealing. I've never been on the subway like, hey, you see that guy clipping his toenails? I wish he could have more of my income. How do I get more of my money to this guy? This gentleman with his pants off. How can I give him? And by the way, liberals are such hypocrites. I'm trying to buy a house. All these Democrats are, socialism. They're all socialists until they have to sell their house. Then they get capitalist real quick. You go to all these showings. No one's ever like, hey, you know what? We just want the best fit for the neighborhood. Money's not important. Now, what they do is they say, look, by noon tomorrow, whoever has the biggest pile of cash in my door gets the keys.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So everything is fake. They don't believe it, but they just do it because it's like, all right, this feels good.
All right, well, on that happy note.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.